Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Jamaica News in Review. Man shot dead while transporting school children in St. Elizabeth. A motorist who was transporting 3 primary school students were shot dead at Park, which is close to Santa Cruz in St. Elizabeth on Tuesday. Preliminary reports are that about 3 p.m., the man, after picking up 3 of his relatives at the Park Mountain Primary School, was shot by a gunman while at the wheel. The shooting happened near the intersection of Park and the Santa Cruz Main Road. Further reports suggested that the vehicle in which the man and the school children were traveling crashed. Reporters understand that the school children were not harmed during the incident. No charge yet for Nikita Noel, murder suspect. The Hanover police are reporting that the 42-year-old suspect in the murder of Nikita Noel in Q District in the parish is not yet charged. The 9-year-old student of Esher Primary failed to return home last Wednesday afternoon, resulting in an alarm being raised by her mother. Noel was later discovered after 7:30 p.m. in bushes, meters away from her home, by a search party. She is believed to have been raped and strangled. Her mother's partner was later accosted by the police and placed in protective custody. His identity has not yet been revealed. Head of the Hanover Police Division, Senior Superintendent Sharon B. Pott, told reporters Monday afternoon that no charges have been preferred against the man. He is not yet charged. We're still working on it. We're still collecting statements, B. Pott confirmed. Assistant Commissioner of Police for Area 1 Clifford Chambers revealed last Thursday that the suspect and the deceased girlfriend mother had an intimate relationship. We know that the mother intimate partner, they had an issue between them, and that is one of the line of inquiry which is being followed, he added. Motorist dies after confrontation with cop on Windward Road. A man who was shot Sunday during an altercation with a policeman on Windward Road in Kingston has died. The deceased has been identified as 39-year-old Marvin Palmer, otherwise called Bumpy, of Woolden Avenue, Kingston 10. Reports are that about 8:30 a.m., there was an altercation between a taxi driver and another motorist after a minor fender bender at the corner of Mountain View Avenue and Windward Road. The policeman intervened but, despite reportedly identifying himself, was attacked by one of the motorists. He reportedly took evasive action and fatally shot his attacker. The matter was reported to the Independent Commission of Investigations and the Inspectorate of Professional Standards and Oversight Bureau. I am no PNP operative, says taxi boss.
I have never in my life, and I repeat, I have never in my life met with any member of the People's National Party, any minister of the People's National Party, any member of Parliament of the People's National Party. We have never sat in a meeting. The closest I've come to any of them is when I went to Parliament 2 weeks ago. I was privileged to shake the hand of Michael Phillips. Other than that, I have been stigmatized this morning. Sent a message to the Minister of Justice to do something about me because I am an operative of the People's National Party. I am an operative, but I am an operative of the public transportation sector, which I have decided to represent them because they are lacking leadership, lacking transparency, lacking accountability. And I stand in that gap on their behalf. And because of that, I have been set up as one of the worst persons in this country. And it is at that voice tone why this room is not filled today. At this time, Mr. Madden.
Kingston Western Police says 3 wanted men, 14 persons of interest. The Kingston Western Police have listed 3 wanted men and 14 persons of interest who they believe may be able to assist them with ongoing investigations in the division. The police said several attempts have been made to contact them at their known addresses and phone numbers. However, these efforts have failed. The following individuals are to report to the Denham Town Criminal Investigations Branch CIB by 6 p.m. on Tuesday, February 7. Kareem Martin, otherwise called Chubbies, Nikita Campbell, otherwise called Bolo, Stuart Byrne, otherwise called Big, Andrew Barracks, otherwise called Boops and Rasta, Nicole Waldron, otherwise called Bonup and Bondog, Kemar Jones, otherwise called Kisses, Tory Ball, Damian Walker, otherwise called Shines, Devine Bryce, otherwise called Dollar Boss, Raheem Bogg, Corey Cleary, Kevin Smith, otherwise called Kev, a man known only as Pepper Boy, a man known only as Additionally, the following individuals, who are all of the Arnett Gardens address, have been listed as wanted and are asked to report to the police immediately. Antonique Ellis, otherwise called Nuki, Shadine Mackenzie, otherwise called Murphy and Philippines, Charles Lundgren, otherwise called Charlie. The Kingston West Police say all three men are wanted for murder. The police are urging anyone with information that can assist in locating these persons to contact the Denham Town CIB at 876-948-6443, Crime Stop at 311, the JCF tip line at 811, or the nearest police station. Clarendon man charged with murder of British citizen. A 23-year-old Clarendon man was on Saturday, February 4, charged with the murder of a British man who was visiting Jamaica. Charge is Jevon Brown from the parish. He is accused of killing Sean Patterson, who was shot dead in Bogue Hall, Montego Bay, St. James on Monday, January 2nd. Reports are that about 12:10 p.m., Patterson was at a guest house when a lone gunman approached him and opened gunfire, hitting him in the upper body. The police were summoned and Patterson was pronounced dead at the hospital. Comprehensive work done by detectives led to Brown's arrest during an operation in Kingston by members of the Counter-Terrorism and Organized Crime Branch CTOC. He was later interviewed in the presence of his attorney. He subsequently gave a caution statement. The investigative file was submitted to the Director of Public Prosecution DPP, who recommended that Brown be charged with murder and using a prohibited weapon to commit murder. Brown's court date is being arranged. Alleged clerks thief charged with housebreaking and larceny. Residents in Clarendon nabbed and handed over a man who allegedly broke into the home of a Songsters Heights resident to the police on Friday. The accused is 31-year-old Roger Bailey, otherwise called Butter, of Songsters Heights, Clarendon. Reports are that about 12:30 a.m., the occupant of the home arrived to find his rear window and door plied open. He went to investigate and saw the accused standing in a section of the house, holding a television and two pairs of Clark's shoes in boxes at his feet. An alarm was raised and residents came to assist, during which Bailey was accosted. Bailey was subsequently handed over to the police and charged with the offenses of housebreaking and larceny. Stolen goats recovered, 4 arrested in Manchester. Police are reporting that 4 men were arrested during an operation in Kingsland, Manchester, and 15 stolen goats were recovered on Sunday. A police source told reporters that the intelligence-led operation happened around 6 a.m. when a team raided a location in Kingsland. The source said a motor car, which is believed to have been used to transport the stolen goods, was also seized during the operation. The police theorized that the vehicle may have been used in multiple robberies across Manchester. The police are urging people whose goods were stolen to contact the Mandeville Police at 876-962-2250 to assist in identifying them. 3 firearms, several ammunition, and 20 pounds of ganja seized in separate police military operations. 3 firearms, several rounds of ammunition, and a quantity of marijuana were seized in separate police military operations across the country yesterday. Reports from the Jamaica Defense Force are that during the operations, a Glock pistol, 1 Smith & Wesson, and a Taurus 9mm pistol, along with 22 live rounds of ammunition were recovered. 4 magazines and 20 pounds of marijuana were also seized. Man killed in Stony Hill. A man was shot and killed in Rocky Valley, Stony Hill, St. Andrew at about 2:45 p.m. He has been identified as 46-year-old Clifford Daly, affectionately called Craig. This is the second killing within a week. On Monday night, 61-year-old Bertram Johnson was gunned down. Yesterday's killing is believed to be a reprisal. The police are investigating. Man shot dead in Old Harbour. The Old Harbour Police in St. Catherine have launched a search for a gunman who shot and killed an unidentified man along West Street yesterday. Reports are that about 5:15 p.m., the victim was walking along the roadway in the vicinity of the Kulanga Cafe when he was approached by a man who brandished a handgun and shot him repeatedly. The injured man was taken to the Spanish Town Hospital, where he succumbed to the injuries. Government confident that restorative justice will help to bring an end to violence in schools. The government says it is confident that the use of restorative justice will aid in bringing an end to violence in schools. In recent times, there have been several incidents of violence in schools involving students and even school administrators. Speaking at a Thanksgiving service for Restorative Justice Week, held at the Salem Baptist Church in St. Anne on February 5th, Justice Minister Delroy Chuck said he believes the use of restorative justice can help in resolving conflict among students, noting that there is a 90% success rate in court matters which have been referred for restorative justice. Mr. Chuck expressed confidence in the initiative. Meanwhile, he noted that the success rate in communities average or around 80%.
When you see what is happening in the schools, where teachers are fighting students and students fighting one another. This is the sort of conflict that we are trying to get into the schools to correct. But the communities are at war, and we want more of these conflicts to be resolved, and we know they can be resolved with restorative justice. We feel that if we can take restorative justice to every nook and cranny, to every corner and crevice of Jamaica, and really urge people to buy into the program and use it to resolve their disputes, Jamaica could heal. Jamaica could be that paradise. So this is the mission that we have embarked on at the Ministry of Justice, and this Restorative Justice Week is really a celebration, and we have a lot to celebrate. We know that in the courts, when they refer matters, 90% of them are eventually settled. And matters coming from the communities averaging 80%. So we know it works. And this can be the healing tool to save Jamaica from the escalating crime, violence, wrongdoings of all kinds. And therefore, Church, I ask you to learn more about it, buy into it, and make sure Jamaica can be where we live, work, retire eventually.
St. James Police working to ensure a continued reduction in murders this year. The St. James Police say they are working to ensure a continued reduction in murders in the parish this year. Superintendent of Police in charge of operations, Aaron Samuels, noted that 11 murders were recorded in January, 22 fewer than the 33 recorded in the same period last year. He said the police will reap more success as cops will be relentless in the fight against crime and violence. Superintendent Samuels said the aim is to ensure that St. James is safe for citizens.
St. James Division, we have had some amount of success in January. Last year, in January, we had 33 murders. We ended the month with 11 murders, coming off the Relentless 2 operation and the SOEs that were done coming from December over into January. We intend to just continue to push hard. We've been doing some special initiatives, 14-day surge operations, where we are targeting the gangs and the main violence producers within the division. We intend to see if we can bring about some change in the number of violent incidents in the division. And over time, we will be pushing out and doing more operational activities that will try our best to make St. James a safer space.
Man shot and injured in 100 Lane, Red Hills Road shooting. A man was shot and injured after gunmen fired several shots into the premises popularly known as Big Yard at 100 Lane, Red Hills Road. The shooting took place about 9:15 yesterday morning. The injured man was transported to the hospital. The extent of his injuries is unknown. An eyewitness told reporters that the man walked unattended to the vehicle that transported him to the hospital. The police were on the scene carrying out investigation. An Nanda alert activated for a 17-year-old boy. An Ananda alert has been activated for a 17-year-old Jonathan Bedward of Portmore Villa, Gregory in Portmore, St. Catherine, who went missing. He is of dark complexion, slim build, and about 5 feet 6 inches tall. Reports from the Caymanas police are that Jonathan was last seen at home at about 12 midday. When last seen, he was dressed in a black pullover, blue jeans pants, and a pair of brown and black Clark shoes. He has not been heard from since. Anyone knowing the whereabouts of Bedward is being asked to contact the Caymanas police at 876-988-1719, the police 119 emergency number, or the nearest police station. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell.